Hello, in this video we are going to talk about the elements of poetry and the types of poetry. Before we start discussing it, let me introduce you to our members.
Hi, my name is Abieva Askia.
Hi, my name is Nabila Sofiana Ainingrum.
My name is Bonita Laraswati Wicaksono.
And my name is Adinda Zara Salsabila.
The first one is elements of poetry. There are 4 elements of poetry and the first one will be explained by Nabila.
Okay, thank you, Bonita. For the first one of element of poetry is poise. Poise there will be divided into two. There is namely speakers and tone. Speaker refers to the narrative voice of the poem, and the tone of the poem refers to your attitude toward your subject and readers. Second, diction. Diction refers to word choice and it is intimately related to imagery and figures of speech because a poet chooses as a word to achieve a certain sensory, emotional, or intellectual effect. And the next will be explained by my friend Bonita.
So the third one is imagery. Imagery refers to a poem which contains full spectrum of sensory experiences, includes internal emotions and physical sensations. It uses figurative language to represent object, action, and idea in such a way. For example, the girl ran her hands on a soft satin fabric. The word of soft appeals to our sense of touch. The fourth one is figure of speech. Figure of speech is a word or phrase which is used in a non-literal way to create an effect. There are several types of figure of speech. The first one is simile. Simile is comparing two dissimilar things by using like or as. Metaphor describes an object or action in a way that is not literally true, but helps explain an idea or make a comparison. Personifications attributes human characteristic to something that is not human. Hyperbole utilize exaggeration to emphasize something, and understatement invokes less emotion that would be expected in reaction to something.
Types of poetry. One of the types is closed form. Writing in a closed form type, a poem follows some sort of pattern, such as that of a sonnet with its rhyme scheme and its 14 lines of iambic pentameter. Poems in closed form tend to look regular and symmetrical, often falling into stanzas that indicates groups of rhymes. Closed form gives a valuable benefits for some poems. One of them is it makes them more memorable because some of these works or poems are sometimes transmitted orally or sung to the music of lyre or chanted to a drum beat. That is why they may have been easier to memorize due to their patterns. For example, the Greek Iliad and Odyssey, the French Song of Roland, and the Spanish Jade. The next material will be explained by my friend Sabia Iva.
The last one is open form. A poet pursues to discover a fresh and individual arrangement for words in every open form poem. The poet leans on other means to engage and to sustain the reader's attention. Poetry in an open form used to be called free verse from the French vers libre, suggesting a kind of verse liberated from rhyme and meter cycles, although it seems inaccurate. Carlos Williams said, when a verse is in an art form, it could not be free in the sense of having no limitation or guiding principles. Various substitute names have been suggested, but the editors called naked poetry said, but what does it matter you call it? The best poems of the last 30 years don't rhyme and don't move on feet of more or less equal duration. That non-description moves toward the only technical principle they all have in common. And That's the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.
Thank you.
You.